Currently, the U.S. is embroiled in a debate over whether there should be an amendment to the Constitution that would define marriage as a legal union between one man and one woman. In 1996, Bill Clinton signed the Defense of Marriage Act that defined marriage to be a legal union between one man and one woman.
The current status of the issue is that more and more rights for the support of the same-sex marriage are getting passed in the United States, which is considered unconstitutional according to the practices of the Republican Party. Currently, in recent studies, 75% of the citizens in the United States believe in same-sex marriage and support it. 59% believe that it is discrimination to deny them their right to marriage.
The states that currently support same-sex marriage are Connecticut, Delaware, Iowa, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Hampshire, New York, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington, and the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. There are also 3 Native American tribes that also support same-sex marriage: the Conkle tribe in Oregon, the Suquamish tribe in Washington, and the Little Traverse Bay bands of Onondaga Indians in Michigan. However, if the Defense of Marriage Act, aka DOMA, was still in place, there would be no state laws allowing same-sex marriage. The Defense of Marriage Act singles out lawfully married same-sex couples for unequal treatment under federal law. DOMA denies same-sex couples their benefits and protection.
The advancement of a federal legislation for same-sex marriage should not be passed. Rather, there should be another legislation made like DOMA that would prevent same-sex couples to get married. Being Republicans, we believe that marriage should be solely between one man and one woman.
Advertisement for the original views of the Republican Party in the country should be put in place in order to remind the people what this country used to be like. Doing this will help the Republican Party get their ideas across and help gain support to defend the practices of the Republican Party.
In order to get our message out to the public, we will have a lobbyist who will help support our legislation to prevent same-sex marriage. With this, our party will be able to gain more support from the citizens and help our mission to create a federal law to legalize same-sex marriage.
In order for this plan to be carried out, we will need the help of the citizens that support this issue in the sense that we will need funding. This will take an economic toll on some of our supporters, but it will be beneficial for them because it will help get their beliefs heard and recognized.
Political action committees, also known as super PACs, will help fund our campaign and support our ideas with no government regulations on their donations. This will help us in the sense that we will not fully have to pay for the advertisement, and we will have the help of supporters showing that they are on our side.
A benefit of not supporting gay marriage and passing our legislation to prohibit it would help keep more money in the pockets of Americans. Prohibiting gay marriage allows the government to not spend money on Social Security and pension benefits for them. Seeing we already have troubles with Social Security due to the baby boomer age, not providing them with their benefits would help the government in the long run and allow more people to save up for when they retire.
The worst-case scenario for our Republican Party is if more rights and acts for same-sex marriage, like the RFMA, Respect for Marriage Act, which would repeal the Defense of Marriage Act and requires the U.S. federal government to recognize the effectiveness of same-sex marriages, gets passed. Then the Republican Party will become less popular and will likely not get elected into office as much as wanted. Also, if the supporters for same-sex marriage keeps growing, this could hurt our campaign and decrease the chances of getting legislation passed.
The worst-case scenario for our country is if our campaign and our ideas fail. If more states allow and legalize same-sex marriage, then that will prove that our country is supporting untraditional values. This will hurt our country because we will then be supporting something that is not constitutionally right according to the Republican Party. The best-case scenario for our party is if our campaign gets across and legislation for denial of same-sex marriage gets passed. This will be good for our party because it will show that our views have the popular vote and our party will become the dominant party, which will get us elected into office more often.
The best case scenario for our country would be for our legislation to get passed. If this were to happen, the country would be united more so than it already is. The country will have followed its traditional ways and controversy will subdue.
As of May 25, 2013, 30 states banned all forms of marriage except for marriage between one man and one woman. This is beneficial for the Republican Party because it proves that more than half the country still believes in our country's traditional values. The Republicans are still supported by more than half of our country from the ages of 50 and older, with 59% not supporting same-sex marriage. Overall, close to 50%, 47 to be exact, still believe in the traditional views, not allowing marriage between the same sex.
Our country is split in half on their views of this topic. If our campaign to legalize same-sex marriage is successful, we will be able to make half or more than half of our country's voters happy.
This debate over the definition of marriage has been occurring in our country for years. Following the traditional values of our nation is a simple solution to this debate over same-sex marriage.
Marriage is defined as the legal union between one man and one woman, which is why you should support our plan to end this debate over the definition of marriage.